The ballroom of the five-star hotel gleamed with golden light, crystal chandeliers hanging like frozen fireworks above a sea of black tuxedos and glittering gowns. Waiters slipped between groups of wealthy guests, balancing trays of champagne flutes. The annual charity gala was the crown jewel of the city's social calendar, and Daniel Hartwell, CEO of Hartwell Industries, had no intention of walking in alone. Not again. He was used to whispers, the subtle pitying glances, the smirks of business rivals who saw his bachelorhood as weakness. The last gala, one board member had patted his shoulder and said, "Still no one at your side, Daniel. Perhaps you're married to your work." The words had cut deeper than Daniel liked to admit. True, he had been single since his divorce 3 years ago. True, his life revolved around building his company and raising his daughter, Sophie. But tonight was different. Tonight, he had solved the problem with a single phone call. He had ordered a girlfriend. Not in the crude sense. The agency specialized in companionship, in professional women who could blend seamlessly into society events, offering charm without complications. He needed someone poised, beautiful, someone who would silence gossip and maybe, just maybe, allow him to breathe without the weight of judgment pressing down. When the black car pulled up to the curb, Daniel straightened his tie. The door opened, and out stepped a woman in a sapphire blue dress that shimmered like ocean waves under the city lights. Her dark hair tumbled in soft waves around her shoulders, and her eyes, God, her eyes, were a shade of green that seemed to catch and hold the light. "Mr. Hartwell?" she asked, her voice calm yet carrying a warmth that seemed to reach him immediately. "Yes." Daniel offered his hand, suddenly aware of how fast his heart was beating. "Thank you for coming. I'm Daniel," she smiled, slipping her hand into his. Lila. The name fit her perfectly. Elegant, but unpretentious. As they entered the ballroom together, conversation stilled for a heartbeat. Heads turned. Daniel felt the rare sensation of control. For once, he wasn't the lonely CEO at the center of whispers. He was a man accompanied by a woman who seemed born for such a stage. But what surprised him most wasn't the way others saw them. It was the way Lila seemed to see him. She leaned close as they walked, her perfume subtle, like night-blooming jasmine. "You look nervous," she teased softly. He chuckled, almost forgetting himself. "Maybe I am. Don't be. Tonight, we're just two people enjoying ourselves." Sophie had been waiting at home, curled on the sofa in her pajamas, eyes glued to the clock. At 7 years old, she was bright and perceptive, often wiser than Daniel wanted her to be. Her father worked too much, she knew it, and though she loved him fiercely, she longed for something more. Someone who could read bedtime stories when he was stuck in meetings. Someone who could brush her hair gently instead of in Daniel's clumsy rush. When Daniel finally returned home past midnight, Sophie was dozing lightly. She woke when she heard the door, rubbing her eyes. "Daddy," she yawned, patting toward him. Daniel scooped her up, kissing her forehead. "You should be in bed, Munchkin. I wanted to see you." Her eyes brightened as she noticed Lila, who had come inside for a polite farewell. Sophie's mouth formed a perfect little "oh." She blinked at the tall, graceful woman standing in the living room. "Who's that?" Daniel hesitated, unsure what to say. Before he could fumble through an explanation, Lila crouched down to Sophie's level, her dress pooling elegantly around her. "Hi," she said warmly. "You must be Sophie." Sophie tilted her head, studying her with the careful seriousness only children possess. Then, without warning, she grinned and threw her arms around Lila's neck. Daniel's jaw nearly dropped. His daughter was shy with strangers, often hiding behind his legs. But now she clung to Lila as though she had known her forever. Lila's eyes widened in surprise, but she hugged the little girl back gently. "Well," she whispered, "you give the best hugs." Sophie leaned back just enough to look at her, eyes sparkling. Then she turned to Daniel, her words piercing the air like a secret wish finally spoken aloud. "Daddy, can she stay forever?" Daniel froze. His heart thundered, his carefully ordered plans crumbling in an instant. This was supposed to be one night. Just a facade for appearances. Yet as he looked at Sophie's glowing face pressed against Lila's shoulder, and at Lila herself, whose expression was soft, almost fragile, he felt something stir inside him that he hadn't dared feel in years. Hope. And it terrified him.